Hello besties, today we are doing a guitar tumbler tutorial. But before then, let me welcome you to our YouTube channel, Misfit Makers Besties. Make sure to follow us on all our social medias under Misfit Makers. And also click that subscribe button so you'll be notified of any future tutorials. And check out our website and our Patreon. Okay, so I am using a 24-ounce plump from the Tipsy Magnolia. It has been spray painted white, and I'm using Little Red Rooster from Crafty Cow inks, a little silver little little cup, and my most scratchiest, oldest brush ever. When I tell you I've been using this crusty, rusty brush since the beginning of time, you better believe it. I use this brush for all of my wood grains. You want to grab the most crustiest, old, tattered brush that you have. If not, get one of those terrible chip brushes from Home Depot or Walmart or any of your other stores that you like to buy brushes. You want it to be super bristly, scratchy for that texture. Okay, so for our first coat, you want to just cover it. Don't worry about the streaks or the blobs or whatever. You want it just to cover it. You want to do a nice cover. Next, after that, I'm going to go in with my brown because I want it to have those wood undertones. And I'm going to kind of have to, I don't know if I show everything, but I go back from brown and red, kind of giving it the wood undertones, but still seeing the red. I want it to be a red electric guitar, totally giving 90s vibe. If you are in the besties, you know that this month we are walking through the eras and we are each doing a cup inspired by a certain era. This is my 90s inspired era cup. After my inks were dried, I did one coat of epoxy. So there you saw it spinning. While it's spinning, I'm going to work on all my decals. Here I am weeding. You can absolutely put your decals right over your inks, but I like to do one coat of epoxy just in case I mess up my decals or I scratch it. Like I just don't want to mess with it. So that's why I epoxied my cup first, but you do you, whatever works for you. And also I do not seal my inks. I let them dry and then I just go in and epoxy them. So these decals I got from Etsy. I will link them in the supply list, but you could just Google or search SVG guitars for tumblers and lots of them will come out. Make sure that you can separate the pieces. So here I printed out just what I'm doing so I know where everything goes. I cut everything out on my Cricut separately. I use metallic vinyl for my red, and then for that white, I know it's hard to see, but it's a sparkly vinyl. All this vinyl is from Vinyl Fun for Everyone, so make sure to check all their vinyl. They have a lot of metallics, opals, like a lot of that cool designer vinyl. So all that you see here is from Vinyl Fun. Okay, so I'm gonna slowly start building my guitar. I'm gonna try to build as much of it off the tumbler, and that way I can transfer it on seamlessly. Okay, so kind of put some thought into it, like where all your pieces go, so that way you don't have so much trouble layering it. I know weeding is for the birds. I know SVGs are hard to cut and everything, but I promise you, I swear like the best work is the vinyl work. Like I feel like it makes your designs elevated. Now, don't get me wrong. Y'all know I love my UV clear cast vinyls, clear cast decals and all that. But ain't nothing like a good layered decal. It's just vinyl decal. So anyway, as you see here, I'm just layering all my vinyl. I'm going to start by placing the biggest piece of my guitar or the bottom piece of my guitar because obviously my chords go on top. And I'm going to place that first and slowly work out all my bubbles and anything like that. As you see, this decal is huge, so you want to make sure that none of your vinyl wrinkles, if you do have little bubbles that get trapped, just pop them. You won't be able to see them once you epoxy them, so do not worry, your little pretty little mind. Okay, so then we're going to place our chords. This was tricky. I know it looks like I just placed it on there, but I did a lot of breathing exercises before I placed it because I did not want to cut and weed this piece of the decal again. So as you see here, everything is lined up. I'm taking off, popping all my little bubbles and making sure everything is nice and good. Look at how cute it is. Now we're going to do the music notes. I didn't want to leave it plain. Now, mind you, you can leave it plain, whatever you want to do. You can put a name, you can leave it as is. I feel like it looks perfect just as is, but I wanted to add a little extra oomph. So I cut out these music notes and some bolts, of course, because, you know, rock and roll, you know, kind of vibes. And I layered them over the same gold textured vinyl that I used on the guitar strings. And then I just went around placing them where I thought they looked best. I think placement may be the hardest part in this because you don't want to like put them too bunched up together, but then you don't want to leave big gaps. So if you're an overthinker, try to map it out before you just go for it, because for me, I was like struggling. I'm like, what if I put it too close? Anyway, so after you put all your decals where you want them, because we are using metallic vinyl, or you know, that special shiny vinyl or that glittery vinyl, you always want to quick coat your work. So basically seal it so none of your epoxy repels, because epoxy tends to repel on those shiny vinyls. So I like to use Quick Coat by CC DIY, and I used a glove finger and just a tiny bit of Quick Coat, and Quick Coat the whole cup. I focus mostly on the vinyl, but if it gets on the rest of the cup, it's not a big deal. I also played some decals on the bottom right there. So after it dries, the Quick Coat dries, then it's ready for epoxy. But let me show you how cute it looks. Just with the decals alone, I feel like, oh my goodness, it just elevates it. Look how cute, look how cute. Ah! Here's a more slow-mo version. This does not have epoxy on it yet, but it needs a coat of epoxy. Also, you see that little glitter? On my first coat of epoxy, I put a little bit of glitter additive just to make it sparkle, but that is completely optional. Your person may not want the sparkly, but this is after I quick coat it, and I put one coat, my final coat of epoxy. I'm using Fast Set by CC DIY with the new formula, and it looks amazing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for subscribing, and make sure to check out all our other videos and any other videos that are posted on YouTube. See you guys later.